G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Lawn Care Skull Sessions. I'm Ben from CatchPro Australia. I've got BJ with me, Bearded Lawnsman.
Boom!
How you going, brother?
Back in studio, man. I'm really good.
Feels good now. It is another scorcher today.
It's so humid.
But you're over your Coco 19 ISO. You did dodge that bullet, right? You never got COVID?
Yeah, man. My wife and Archer was living upstairs and with my daughter, and I just lived downstairs with my other daughter, so we were fucking completely separate. It was shit. I fucking hated it.
Yeah, I would have given up. I would have just, I would have said, righto fam, we're all getting it. That way we can get it, be done with it.
I had no one to patch. My wife was like, nah, not even through a bit of tinfoil or anything. Fucking bullshit.
Sorry, I just got a visual. So anyway, it's great to have you back in here.
Thanks, man.
Unfortunately, now we're in March, so this is our autumn, but boy oh boy, it's still humid, right?
Yeah, it's so humid. Today was absolutely rotten. I'm thankful for the sun being out. I'm very thankful for that.
How good is the sunlight?
It
just makes me feel happy.
Yeah, it does. It just makes work a little bit easier. It sounds weird, especially because the sun is fucking... It wasn't actually the culprit of today's misfortune. It was the humidity that was absolutely wrecking me today. But yeah, it is nice. There was barely a cloud in the sky today.
Yep, and in the next 30 days, we should see that humidity really starting to settle.
Yeah, well, who knows these days, mate?
Well, yeah, that's true. Usually February is the worst month in Queensland.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to figure out if the humidity is actually worse or you just fed up with it after 3 months.
Yeah.
But it seems like, definitely this first week of March is really sort of starting to drag that on. Hopefully that goes away now. There has been still lots of devastation from the floods. We probably won't touch on it too much, but just so that everyone knows out there, everyone that has been affected, we're thinking of everyone. We hope people, can recoup and, are not losing out. Like I spoke to Jared from LMCA.
Yeah.
And he actually messaged me personally and said, were you a contractor in 2011? And I said, yes, of course. And said, I'm chatting to a few LMCA members about, how bad things are for them. And, even though, yes, we were involved in the flood stuff and, everything like that, we didn't have houses destroyed.
Yeah.
We didn't lose vehicles. We didn't lose machines.
It's heartbreaking to see some of the photos I've seen up of like people's rigs, waist deep. And
and we got a mate, one of our derelict homeboys, VJ, in Townsville, right?
Yeah.
And he lived through that.
Yeah.
It ruined.
Yeah,
he is back
from scratch.
He's back in business, but mentally it messed with him and everything.
Yeah,
so
fucking definitely would.
If you're in that situation, reach out. It's not like we can do anything about it, but if anyone ever needs anyone to talk to, there's a huge network out there, and you never know when things go public. We've seen great things happen.
Yeah, 100%.
The dude with the paralyzed bloke.
Yeah.
Got a mad machine and a setup and stuff. So. Maybe we can kickstart something if need be.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people, like out of 4,000 or nearly 4,000 members on LMCA. I'm sure there's a few people that have been affected.
And there is the Aussie contractors page as well, which is, I typically, I guess I sort of mold those pages together.
Yeah.
There is some crossover members.
Yeah.
But it's also another space.
100%.
It's another space of, maybe another 1,000, maybe 1,500 members by now.
Yeah.
It's just another place and another community where, if we all need to build each other up, hopefully that can happen.
That's it. Oh, well, mate, out of that, should we get to some housekeeping?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
You got some stuff in front of you?
Yeah, we got 2 new reviews, and they are good ones. So we have one from Trigger Happy via Apple iPod. iPod. Come on,
you're not good with the Apple stuff, eh?
Mate, no way. I'm an Android guy from way back. So it came from Trigger Happy. He said, Bayside boys getting it done, experimenting with a career change while on long service leave. These podcasts couldn't come at a better time. Validating, insightful, motivating, encouraging, and has really provided me with a huge leg up in setting up. Little nuggets of gold in every episode. Really enjoy the listen and look forward to my Monday morning start. Oh, he's got starter job when I can get stuck in and enjoy Interrupted. Keep them coming, fellas. Much appreciated. Trig the Lawny.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, that's Chris Tritter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He popped over the other day.
Thank you so much for the review
sure,
there.
We appreciate every bit of feedback we get.
Nice to see that you're kicking butt.
Yeah, man, he really.
I can't remember. I think he was buying some. He was going to buy some battery stuff.
Yeah, he did. He jumped on the Husky train.
Oh, you got on Husky? Yeah. He did. He reached out to us about Ego.
Yeah, he did.
And after he saw our Ego episode, he wanted to buy Ego, but he had said that he'd already invested in Husky.
Exactly.
And as much as I would have loved him to get some Ego stuff, I don't know if you've already invested in a brand. I don't think it's the best thing to be, brand hopping when, you get charges.
I didn't take that advice. I'm an absolute slut when it comes to battery gear.
Well, I was thinking about it now too, and I just bought myself an Ego multi-tool.
Yeah.
And we've got some Ego stuff anyway.
Yeah.
But, I had a look around and, I sort of run all the Bush Ranger stuff.
Yeah.
And at the village, we've got Still and we've got Ego, and then, I'm running, drills that are, different. So,
you got a bit of everything up here.
Yeah. So, it's just one of those, don't be like me. Try and find a brand that makes sense for you.
Look, my idea when it came to getting different brands was, because we are on a bit of a platform now, it's good to know what does what. And it's good to be able to compare and honestly compare stuff. It's...
that's a great point.
It does.
It'd be good if someone could buy the shit for us.
Are you throwing a bit of bait out there just in case?
Sure, yeah. Who's left?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'll try anything.
Yeah, still hasn't talked to us. I couldn't even get a bloody poster for the back wall off them. Same with Husky.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying some of the power tool brand stuff. Like a Milwaukee or maybe a Makita.
I've tried some Makita stuff. I wasn't 100% impressed on the weight, just the balance.
I've heard it's heavy.
But no, I haven't tried Milwaukee. I haven't tried
AEG.
No, I've never tried AEG.
I would have bought, because they sell it at Bunno's. So I would have bought some AEG stuff, but they just didn't have stock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that a stock issue thing, or is that just
I don't
have
know.
any at your convenience?
Well, mate, I haven't looked into it. But I'm realising that this is a gnarly as sidebar, eh?
It really is. Another sidebar is I got a new employee.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. I didn't even remember that. Sorry about the big F there. I just dropped it out. Didn't even realise.
Mate, it's coming eventually.
It is. Just like myself.
Yeah, so expanding?
Yeah, expanding. So, really excited. He is coming on. He's going to be my leading hand. So I'm going to be with him for an entire month. I will take a little bit of a hit because I'll basically be a babysitter for a month. But I think it's worth it to make sure he knows how important my business is to me, and he knows exactly what I expect from him. So, yeah, fucking roll the dice on someone, and yeah,
that's great.
Where do we go? Oh, and he fucking stole me Ego. He loves a backpack, and the snipper.
Well, I mean, it's good because if you have stuff that guys don't like, that's when you headbutt them.
Yeah, and not only that is I went to jump on the V ride. And he was already away mowing with the V-Ride. I'm like, who is this fucking guy?
Yeah.
Get off my fucking V-Ride.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, let's jump into today's episode.
Wait.
Sorry.
I have one more review. We got into such a big sidebar. We have one more review. From R. Steele on the Apple podcast. Apple podcast, again. Really enjoying the podcast. Wouldn't mind hearing your thoughts on vehicle type ute, truck, van, pros and cons. Now, to our episode today. What are we doing, Ben?
R Steel, you said it, and we listened.
We listened to you, R Steel.
Today's episode is actually going to be on vehicle setups, and we're going to go through all the different types of setups, maybe what you should consider, some pros and cons, maybe our experiences.
Yep, I'm actually going through it right now. So I've got a fucking dilemma in my brain right now. Truck or ute with a car trailer?
Yep, so how about we dive straight into this, pal? So, okay.
We'll get rid of this.
Now, I think when you're talking about setups, you know, should I tow a trailer? Should I not tow a trailer? We can get into the trailer side because there's, probably 2 or 3 different variants of trailers that people can run. But maybe let's just start with like a dual cab ute. Now, we're not going to go through any brands or anything like that. We're just talking about a dual cab ute. There is 2 variants that we can break down. There's the short wheelbase, like if you buy a Hilux dual cab, if you I think you can get like a tray back, which would be longer. Probably not wider, but longer.
Yeah.
So let's break those down. Now, you use a dual cab yourself.
I do. I have it's a Toyota Hilux dual cab. It's got the style sides, so it's got like the tub at the back, not the tray.
Now, your rig is whack because...
Fucking what?
Nah, because I don't like the fucking lid.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I've never liked your lid.
So, yeah, that's a point. That is 100%.
Now, I used to run the same dual cab ute, and, obviously we have different setups. Everyone's going to be different. But, like, there's no way I could function with that lid just because it limits you to whatever the height is of the style side.
Yes, yeah, it does.
So,
but you used to have your pushies in the back. See, I don't have my pushies in the back.
Yeah, that's true.
I have CatchPro.
And I used to have them in there just for show too. Never
pulled them off. Your back says different.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, look, for me, it works to a certain degree because I only really hold CatchPro, poisons and oils and battery tools in there. So for me, it works. It's got 2 like roof racks on the tray as well. So
that's probably the only upside to that.
Yeah, if it can chuck a wheelbarrow or an extra ladder or whatever on there, and it handles it sweet. I've got something to tie down there, but it does get annoying because it does take on water. It's not watertight. It's never been watertight from the day I got it. So
yeah. So can we talk about like with the dual cab ute, and let's say if we're talking to people that are potentially going to get into the industry, or maybe some people that are already in the industry, maybe they don't have a dual cab yet, maybe they're trying to decide what it is. Something that I know that I considered was I always had like a single cab ute. Actually, that's a lie. I always had a dual cab ute because I used to go surfing with the bros on the weekend. But so you could chuck everyone in there. But when I upgraded my vehicle, it was right around when I had my twins.
Yeah.
And I really had to think about my family.
Yeah.
Now, is that the case for you as well?
100%, yeah.
So that, let's say you want to take, like we used to take my work rig over to Stratty.
Yeah.
Because you got the ute. So then you can, and being a Hilux, it could double as a family car.
Yeah.
Now, none of that is ideal.
No.
But if you have a single cab, then you're just...
It's a date car.
Yeah.
You and your missus. Yeah, 100%. With the kids, I 100% had to get a dual cab. And I also looked at it like for holidays and stuff because my daughter's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
The tray is so good because we could break her wheelchair down and shut the lid. I still had to line the tub with a fucking tub because it took on water. But yeah, so that was a massive part of why I got the Hilux. in hindsight, I probably didn't need to because we only took it on holiday a couple of times, and then my wife, she got a Kluger, so that could take everything we needed, and it had a roof rack on top that we could chuck everything on. But
definitely something to consider.
100%, yeah, especially if, you have a growing family, because you never know. Accidents happen.
Not with me anymore.
Chop, chop.
But not to mention that if you get a dual cab ute, now you will face a few limitations with the tray size.
Yeah.
But if your business grows, you can just bung the other boys in the back.
Exactly what I did today. It's the first time there's been 3 people in my car for a long time.
Now, I want to take you way back to like 2005 probably.
So
we used
back.
to run. It's a long time ago.
So far back.
We used to run like a light truck.
Yep.
And some of those fucking worst days of my life was sitting in there with 2 other dudes, stinking and sweating on top of each other, bloody.
That's a proper grass bukkake.
Oh, ugh, now I think about it. I wouldn't be able to tolerate
And you guys, I'm not a shirt taker offer kind of guy. You guys always run around with shirts off.
I don't even think we ever put a shirt on back then.
That would have been so nasty. Just touching each other. Ooh.
Yeah, and so even now locally, like sometimes I see a lot of the tree lopping guys, you'll see that too. They're all sitting next to each other. You think, oh, those poor bastards in this heat.
Straight away, yeah.
So something to consider with the dual cab ute, along with your setup, is now look, if you're going to be running a dual cab ute, you're probably going to have to run a trailer, right? Because there's going to be a lot of limitations.
Yeah, unless you've set yourself up to be a specialty, like a tight access kind of guy, like a city dweller.
Yeah, so that's something that's really and I think if you weren't taking away green waste,
or small amounts of green waste,
geez, mate, by the time you get all your bippers and everything in there, you got fuck all. But,
well, unless you deck it out with racks.
Well, that will help you save some, and it'd look pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But with the single cabs, they've got I had a dual cab with a single cab tray on it.
Yeah.
At one point, and those trays, they're so much bigger now. That's going to be my top pick out of today for someone who is still going to run a trailer, and they're going to account for everything. Because, man, you can put your push mowers in there. You can put, all your bags and stuff like that.
Well, that's one thing that I have a lot of trouble with is keeping my bags organised because my rig has that lid. I just have to thrust them into the back and... Yeah, it pisses me off.
I made, it's kind of, I just bent up some metal and just made like a pretend box. Doesn't have a lid on it, but it's kind of sheltered anyway, the way that I have it set up. And I am able to fold them and put the bags in there.
Yeah.
But, for a long time now, I haven't been a full-time operator. So the amount of green waste that, realistically that I was catching and taking away and physically bagging would be minimal to what an everyday operator would. But definitely something to consider. But look, I think a dual cab with like that bigger tray is perfect. Now, if we're going to talk about single cabs, and I know we've already touched on some of it, but maybe for say a solo operator who has a family car, it's a great option, right?
Definitely. I see a lot of dudes coming into the villages with single cabs, and they have their pushy on the back, the whip snipper in the back, little blower, and that's it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you reckon if they've got, like, say, a village day or whatever, do you reckon they're just ditching their trailer somewhere?
Actually, they might just ditch their trailer because access is a pain in the ass.
See, I'm fucking smart.
Yeah, fucking good one.
All right, so let's talk about vans.
Yeah, well, I know you've had a van. Did you use it for contract? You did?
Yeah, when we first started in 02, we had a van.
Oh, that's right. You started with a van. I keep thinking of the courier thing.
Yeah, no, so we started with a van, and, I remember at the time, Obviously when I look back now, it was a kook business. Like, like we thought, whatever we thought it was, it just wasn't when you look back now. But it was fucking fantastic, man. My old man, he built like, so where the slide door opens up, it was just like a conovan.
Yeah.
Where you slide that open, we had all of our snippers on the wall, like right behind the cabin.
Yep.
He had like framework laid down so you could fit 2 pushies in there.
Yep.
No dramas. Back then there was no pole hedges. Everything was
hand
hedges, which can't remember where they're probably in a box somewhere. And then half of the van was green waste, and you had to bag everything.
Yeah.
Now that's small operation.
Yep.
Type of deal. Back then we were just doing say 10 lawns a day.
Yeah.
And most of it was sort of like body corporate stuff, so everything was pretty regular, and you weren't taking off like crazy amounts. I love my days in that van, just because it's just like you got no bonnet.
Yeah.
Like you could just nose up to anything, pull in anywhere. You really do face some limitations when you start growing though.
Yeah.
So,
who is it? It's Conrad, isn't it?
Yeah, so I was about to get there. Some of the van setups these days are really I get very jealous of some of these van setups. Now, none of those setups would even suit my business model currently.
Yeah.
But obviously for them, it's working.
Yeah.
And the vans are a lot bigger than what I had.
Oh,
they can stand up in these motherfuckers.
The transit vans and stuff are huge.
It would suit any business that is not dealing with green waste.
Yeah.
But Anthony Moore.
Yeah, Anthony.
Is he Urban Turf? No.
Urban Green.
Urban Green, sorry. Yeah. Oh, man, all the fucking business.
Dale's Urban Turf.
They all the same.
It's all the same.
And Conrad.
Yeah. Brookman. He's got his Volt.
Yeah, and he's got like this mad gun rack as a snipper thing. So
fully decked out. That's a lot of work to get it set up, but once it was set up, I'm sure he's loving life.
I think there could be some contractors up in Noosa that run a van. They could be the Ego.
The Ego peeps?
Yeah. And I think they have a really cool setup.
Yeah.
But look, the vans, if you could choose, like if you were just like, okay, I want my business to be this way and it to magically happen.
Yeah.
Would you love it, to just run in a van with, no green waste, etc.?
100%. Well, that's one of the troubles I'm having now is trying to figure out which direction to go. I've got a truck ready to rock and roll, but I'm like, I've had to take a breath and go, fuck, do I need a truck? I know I want a truck, but do I need a truck? It's it's just an Isuzu. It's brand spanker, 2022. The guy sold it to me straight away. He's like, suspension seat, and the fact that...
Fleshlight.
Yeah, fleshlight underneath the steering wheel.
Can everyone listening send in and let's try and get BJ to buy a Ram truck?
No, I'm not.
You would suit a Ram truck.
I would suit anything,
I would get out of your way if you were in a Ram truck. I'd be like, whoa, this dude is so fucking cool.
I'd love to have a Ram truck, but the budget won't stretch that far, I don't think. Surprisingly, I was actually surprised at the price of a truck compared to...
Let's just quickly hit him with it. So, you don't have to tell an exact price.
Well, it's around. It's under 60 grand.
Yep.
For so that's a 2022 and
is it an EB?
And Pill R. Yeah, it's a brand spanker.
Okay, cool.
They're getting the tray made up for it now. So it's the short wheelbase one. NPL 45 150. I think that's what it is.
XT1 2000.
Yeah, something like that. It's just a basic truck, but it has everything. It's got the tow ball. It's got...
it's got a tow ball, everyone.
It's got a tow ball. That's all I need, really. A tow ball. It's got a tow ball.
Is it a single or dual cab?
It's a single.
Okay.
Dual cabs, then you're looking at like 90 plus. It's crazy how much it jumps.
Yeah, and look, we'll tell it because obviously we started off with the whole dual cab thing.
Yeah.
But we'll give some insight. You've already got a rig. You're expanding. You can go further with that.
So my rig is going to go to the boys, my Hilux and my trailer setup, and I'm actually setting up like a big acreage pig. I'm going to rack it out. With the equipment defender.
I thought you were going to say green touch. I was going to fucking bash you.
No, thank you. No, thank you very much. So I'm going to rack it out, and then I'm also going to put a certain mower on there. I'll disclose at a later event.
Oh, come on, don't be like that.
I'm not going to say anything yet.
But
yeah. So when it comes,
he's getting a Gravely, is it? Or
yeah,
is it,
something. Like
or is it a Hustler?
When it comes, I will come. So. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Explicit.
We're not allowed any of the C words on the show, right?
Oh, okay. Cat.
That goes for the och, unt, and cut words.
Fair enough. Yeah, so it's just going to be set up for acreage, and that's what I want to do. So I want my boys to take care of all of my stuff that I'm building. I've already built. Because that's a full-time job for two people, and that's what I've been doing. And I want to take a step back and be more of a manager than a labourer. So I've been going hard out for a long time, and now I think like I should reap the benefits, and I can move into like a, I'm not getting off the tools completely, but there's going to be a lot more back end stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you'll I know for a fact that
sort of what you've done with CatchPro, like you've sort of pulled away from your mowing and let the boys take the reins a little bit more, and you still get out there, but
yeah, I mean, it'll be, and that's obviously happening less and less now. Obviously, it's the summer period, so catches are flying off the shelves, but I mean, I guess it's going to be a great journey for all of our listeners to be involved in, because you will face a whole new set of trials and tribulations. Now, currently you're probably facing a few physical issues and setbacks, like
small penis.
Oh, that's fucking gold, eh? Where I was going, yeah, you fucked me. No, I just
you wouldn't have felt it.
I want. Oh, that'll be a good reel. Anyway. No, like you've got very sore feet.
Yeah, ridiculously sore. I feel like a gigantic baby complaining that I have sore feet.
No, I mean this is what some of the people should be aware of.
Yeah,
everyone's aware of my back injury, which I hurt my back. This is a result of proper wear and tear. Yeah. And now what you're doing is, you might not be able to keep up that mileage. No. You're going to transition the business to hopefully, not, like there. I know that this is a huge sidebar, but a lot of businesses don't always fail, due to bad decisions. No. They fail because of burnout as well.
Yeah.
And that burnout is not necessary. You can make all the right decisions in the world, but when your body starts failing you, like you don't really talk about it that much.
No,
but I know that you have, I see the way you walk around here after all day, and
it's
a real thing.
It's painful. It is really painful. A lot of it has to do with my lifestyle. So another, this is a huge sidebar, but another reason why I want to get a little bit off the tools is to focus a little bit more on my health, because
stop smoking weed.
Yeah, no way, man. 420 for life. They're going to call me fucking the bearded Snoop.
Yeah.
No, really. I'm not going to stop. I don't smoke weed. I wish I could afford to. All my money's being spent on fucking trucks.
Let's
or maybe not.
Let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so the van gig, would definitely suit that city life type of setup. I've noticed that lots of people that are running vans usually they're pretty well battery equipped, running a lot of battery equipment. You can still get your zero turns and all sorts of shit in there.
Anthony throws his 32V right in the back of his.
Yeah, and he used to have, I think he might have had a 36 Hustler back at some point.
Yeah, he did.
So, definitely that can happen. We did see one the other day where they might have had a 52 Ferris stand-on.
Jesus. That's a tight squeeze, wouldn't it? Oh, I guess,
I guess it depends. I mean, if you have a look at my 54 that I put on the trailer, you're looking at a B's dick either side. Or a BJ dick, I don't know. Yeah. It's all relative.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think for people who are going to go the van route, I think they might have to have some pretty strict housekeeping on that van, because that would get rank real quick if you're putting fucking bags of wet grass and wet mulch, wet hedge clippings and shit like that, and just generally
creepy crawlies.
Oh my god, the spiders,
critters.
Fuck, I would lose it. Did you ever have like a spider be like, "Hey, I'm coming for a ride"?
Oh, dude, it was gnarly as.
Will was in the back seat today. He goes, "There's a spider in your car." I almost fucking ran off the road. I hate spiders, especially when they creep up on me.
Yeah. The critters.
Yeah.
Do you know where I'm going with the critters? Remember, I think her name was Nola. I could say her name, but she's just like a full mad alcoholic. When me and Rusty used to go and mow her place, and I don't know if she was a smackhead or just an alco, but she's just the typical like, "Hey boys, how you going?" And we'd just be like, "Hey Nola," and then she lived on an acreage and there was always birds and that, and she's just like, "Oh, I love the critters, eh?"
Mad money, no care.
So now it's because she came from a really rich background, and the company used to pay. But yeah, she's just a full mad alco. But
Jesus.
It's when I said the critters thing, it's because every time me and Rusty are working and we see like a lizard or something, we're like, "Oh, it's the critters."
Yeah, 40 acres. What's that noise? Oh, it's just the critters. All right. Well, let's jump back to trucks then.
Okay, cool. So, look, trucks. There is some awesome trucks in the industry. If anyone is listening and isn't aware, Mow and Grow down in Sydney somewhere.
Yeah.
He has some awesome truck setups.
He was my first point of call for when I was getting my, truck idea cooking. I said, "Look, I love the way that you've got that drop down ramp on the back. Who made it? Was it made in Australia? Who makes them in Australia? Fucking help me." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I think they had a few dramas getting that together." But hopefully I'll talk to him a bit more about it once I actually pull the trigger. But mate, he's got some awesome setups.
And what I like about the truck, look, I think ultimately it's a huge investment. If you're like, I think for a truck, obviously it's a dedicated work vehicle. Mm-hmm. Not that you can't double in some, like if you needed to take your kids somewhere, or if you wanted to go and,
The first thing Lou said was, "I'm driving that." I'm like, "Yeah, for sure. That's fine. I might turn me on. I don't know."
I feel like you would get turned on about that.
It's pretty easy.
It's my fucking cousin, by the way.
Sorry about that. Not really.
Look, I think the truck, in terms of, you've got awesome towing capabilities.
Yep.
So just because you have a truck doesn't mean that you can't have a trailer.
Yeah.
Now, it is that would be a huge rig. But you would really be setting yourself up. I think also the visual, like if you're rocking up to a quote, whether it's an 8, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a residential lawn, but that shit's going to look impressive.
Mate, well, guess who I was parked next to today? My mate Marky from...
oh my gosh.
Uncle
Are
MG.
you like a mind reader? I was just about to say IMO.
Yeah, IMO Brizzy.
And because I think he's got like 4 rigs now.
Three.
Okay.
So he's got, his son just got a new rig. So
yeah, I was waving at someone the other day.
There's another guy. I feel like a prick because I just spoke to Mark this morning and he told me his name. But
okay, cool.
Oh, Todd. I think his name's Todd. So he runs the other rig.
I actually know who Todd is.
Oh, okay, cool.
Todd, his old man used to run the boys' college.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
I was actually, that's the first time I got to speak to him today. He's a good bloke, so
they've, I'm not sure if they have all trucks, but I know that Mark, his original rig, is that big rig. He's got the big truck.
Yeah.
And it's fucking impressive when he pulls up somewhere.
Well, next to my truck and, my ute and trailer, it's actually not that much bigger than mine. It's got a good couple of feet, but considering he's running a truck.
Yeah.
But no, it's fucking impressive, mate. It really stands out. Like, you can't miss that.
Now, he does run the truck the opposite way to what I would. So, let me see if this makes sense with everyone listening. If I had a truck, I'd like to have all my gear on there.
Yeah.
And I'd have the trailer for green waste.
Yeah.
He actually does it the opposite. He's got a walker.
Yep.
And he uses the high dump and loads the grass into the truck.
Fair enough.
And his trailer stores all the gear. Now, that's cool and everything.
You know why I think he does that? Because he is minimising his cost at the dump. So he could probably put his green waste on the truck, go through, and still be under the 4.5 tonne.
Yeah, but they won't charge you. They only charge you for the green waste that you dump.
Yeah, but as soon as you go over 4.5 tonne, they charge you as a light truck, and your fucking charge goes through the roof.
Okay, possibly. I mean,
that's why he leaves his rig out. Leaves his trailer out the back.
Yeah,
and then he drives around with the truck and dumps.
Okay, I think Mark listens.
Yeah, he does.
He can comment in anywhere.
Yeah, that'd be good,
and help fill in the audience, and maybe give us some feedback. We could probably get him on the show.
That'd be cool. He has a great business. Some of the work he does is really, really nice.
Yeah. So, but look, there's just one example of. Well, sorry, that's another example of the truck setup. Now, like I said, I would like to have all my equipment on there, because if you don't have a green waste day, say you're doing the 40 acres or whatever the case may be, you just fucking leave that trailer at home and just go and do some wheelies. In the truck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's what I like about it.
It's making me want to buy a truck. It's making me want to buy a truck again.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I like to have my setups is that I'm able to account for every situation.
Yeah.
And that's why we have our trailer setups with our mowers, with our zero-turn mowers on the side.
Yeah.
And you got the arse end for green waste.
Yep.
And, you know, like, you can carry that machine full time.
Yeah. We were talking about that today. So I was talking to you about the way that my own grower set his up as a rear loader for his zero turns. And then you just kind of put the idea in my head about, you know, if you're side loading, you don't need those gigantic ramps to get that extra clearance onto the gutters. And
if some slapdick fucking comes up behind you.
Access, like, you do need extra access. But Moen Grow's business is amazing. Like, he basically is just all acreage and body corp, and that's pretty much the way I want to do my business. But
I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying.
No, I know. It's just the way it's set up. Like, I feel like it's the work I want to target, but I don't know if it's a work I'll be able to get. So even in some of my big acreages, I still don't have huge access areas. So I don't know, Ben. There's so many things I have to consider.
Well, you can consider them while we move on.
All right.
So let's talk trailer setups.
Okay.
Now, we could probably run a whole episode on trailer setups, and maybe we might do that.
Yeah.
But with the trailer setups, can I just lay out, maybe say 2 or 3, we'll see how many, setups, and you can come back and tell me which application or field or, like, section they sort of fit in.
Yep.
So, let's start. We've got just a flatbed trailer.
Yeah.
Then we've got, let's call it the bearded lawnsman rig. So that's BJ's trailer. Now, if you're not familiar with it, go and check it out on Instagram.
There's a good walk around on CatchPro.
Yes, if you're watching this, you can flick over to the walk around video. Now, I'll just quickly explain it. We've got, when I say we, I mean him, because it's his. He's got the zero turn coming up sideways with the 30-inch push.
Yep.
He's got racking systems on the side all the way around, and he has the arse end, which is pretty much dedicated for green waste, although you can put another machine in
I put
there.
my 32 in there, so
Yeah.
It's
so we've
seven. It's 7x6. Just that waist area is 7x6. So it's big.
Do you know how many cube that is?
No.
I don't know how to.
I'd say
add
a lot.
that. I think mine used to be around 3 cube.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get back to that. So then we've got, let's say, a box trailer with a push mower box on front. Maybe let's just stick with those 3.
Yeah.
So the flatbed trailers, what sort of market and application do you think that would be used for?
So the flatbed trailers, I actually am seeing more and more of.
We could call that the Yankee style.
The Yankee style, yeah. Well, I think it's actually becoming a bit more of a popular choice because a lot of people are going for a ute. So they would be storing their green waste in the back of their ute and they're using the rest of their stuff to tow. That's something that I can't do, obviously, because I got the lid. So
quick pros and cons of a flatbed trailer. And if you can't think of any, I'll just fucking rattle off mine.
I'd say space. I'd say easy access.
So these are all pros?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cons?
Cons definitely is the fact that all your stuff is exposed.
Yes.
And you know, thievery. I'd be worried about people looking at my shit and scoping it and see how quickly they could pinch it.
So the cons are, and I'm just going to highlight the cons. Exposure to all the elements. So the sun's fucking beaming down on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then when we start having torrential rain floods,
big khaki.
it's like, bidoo, 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 bidoo.
Yeah, exactly.
However, the positives, like you mentioned, everything can be very nicely set out. And in a perfect world where the sun wasn't too hot and it didn't rain during the day, that vehicle would also present really well to anyone.
Yeah,
you know, because you can.
I think application-wise, it's definitely a really good setup for acreage work.
Okay, cool. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think very good, very convenient.
Okay, let's talk about the the single mower box, single axle cage trailer.
Yep. So that's where I started.
We've got one.
Yeah. So that's what I started with. Just
Rusty 19er runs it. Rusty 19er, never been finer.
So mine ended up with a ramp on the back because as I grew, I got a zero turn and didn't like using the ramp. So like the on-off ramps. So I got a full drop down ramp made.
Did you mean suicide ramps?
Yeah, man. Suicide
foldable
ramps.
Suicide.
Yeah.
One day you're gonna eat shit ramps.
Yeah, I don't know. Just whenever you use them, you're just like, is today the day that I'm gonna,
Well, you could be like Craig Burrows doing 360s off. spit one ramp, and then he's like, oh fuck, spat a ramp, and then he's like, oh, spat the other one, and then he's like, yeah, bang. I think Anthony Moore might have done it as well on a street.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey, look at my hustler. And it's just like all fucked up on the road.
Shit.
See, we can all learn from this sort of stuff.
100%. No, but it was a great place to start. Like, honestly, I did 5 years with that trailer. And, it was a great place to start.
So would you consider it to be, obviously, yes, you can put a ride-on in. So you can account for that. I think if you've got your ride-on in there, you're not doing a ton of green waste.
No, but...
And if you're one of those naughty contractors, right, where you take your zero turn and you go and mow some shit, then you go and do a garden cleanup and put all your rubbish on there,
Yeah.
Now, if you're just listening to this, I am looking dead set in the camera and I'm saying, hell no.
You pay good money for your equipment. You don't want a fucking... And it happens really easily. So I had a walker... for a couple of months, and I did a clean up, and I put a stick straight through the fucking seat cover. It was a brand new seat, secondhand walker, but brand new seat, and I was heartbroken. And I'm not going to replace that, so it just looked raggedy as shit from then on in, and it was a sore point for me.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think at the end of the day, we always say it. You got to do what you got to do to get through, but. It's a huge no-no for me because, it doesn't even... Look, honestly, to me, it doesn't even matter if it's a $5,000 machine.
Yeah.
You're just going to get so much wear and tear by putting bags of grass on top or around.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the twigs and shit that fall through, like, into all the cable. Like, it's just...
I remember with my country clipper, I almost ripped the exhaust off because I'd backed in and I'd had these bags pushed up as far as I could, and the exhaust melted through a bag.
Yeah.
And I'd, like, jumped off, and I was like, oh, good day. And I got off, and the next day I went to pull it off to take all my shit off at the dump. And I started driving. I was like, oh, that's a bit pulley. And it was like, 400 kilos of green waste just dragging back on my exhaust. So I'm like half doing a wheelie.
And those bags are like, they're like $15 or something.
Yeah,
or are
yeah.
they cheaper? I don't know.
Oh, mate.
I don't fucking check the price. I just go like...
My
Bundy
bags
bags
were holier than the bloody Vatican.
Bundy bags, everyone.
Yeah, Bundy bags, man. They're really good. I got $139 delivered for 12.
That's good price.
So that's not bad.
Just while we're talking about plugs, shall we run a plug for Bad Workwear?
Yeah, of course, man. As always, hit Bad Workwear. Use our code. Please use our code. Don't forget. I probably will. But it's Skull all in capitals. They have some sick stuff. Winter's coming up. They have awesome hoodies. I looked at the vest last night and the bomber jackets as well. That green bomber jacket looks so good. I
can't wait for winter. I cranked their flannies and the puffer jacket. Hopefully we'll be able to, like, hopefully if it ever gets cold here, I'm a massive pussy in the cold, so we'll start wearing some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But even if you... So CatchPro has started to stock just a few smaller items. Obviously, we've carried the boots. We added the sunglasses. We've got the little booty gaiters now. I call them skirts.
Yeah.
Does anyone else?
No, sock protectors.
Okay, cool. I call them skirts, so whatevs.
Yeah.
And we are going to add a few other pieces. Now, the Skull code works on my website as well,
Ooh.
Only for the bad gear. So remember... Whichever website you're going to, use Skull in capital letters.
Yeah, nice.
And support the people that support us, because Bad Workwear are our first official sponsor. They love the show. They're doing awesome things. We're actually going to get an interview with them eventually.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of awesome workwear with a lot of good style.
Yeah, and their sizes are actually... I think they're more of a US size because their shorts fit me. I'm normally like 112 to 117 in my sizes. I grabbed a pair of 107s and they slipped on perfectly. The Bad Saviour Pros, the shorty shorts, man.
I didn't actually realise. So I'm wearing one of their t-shirts now. I'm actually wearing a large. So I wouldn't say the sizes are humongous because a large, like this probably feels, a little bit tighter than...
You look good.
Don't fucking look into me eyes when you say that. Anyway, let's get back to the show.
Yes,
so just quickly, don't forget Bad Workwear or catchpro.com.au. Use code SKULL in caps to get all the mad workwear shit. All right, so the last trailer is the Bearded Lawnsman trailer. And, obviously it's become pretty easy for you to say what sort of application that fits in.
Yeah, so pretty much everything. I feel like it is just such a good all-rounder. I am going to admit right now, I think I went a little bit big. I probably didn't need to.
You did an MG.
I did an MG. Well, next to his, mine is small. But no, I think I just went a little bit too big. I really didn't need to. I just got a bit of a stiffy and went, why not? Why the fuck not?
You just jumped on that insurance claim.
Yeah, I did. And so... Mine has I think it's about a 34-inch push mower deck, so it fits a 30-inch on their schmick. 55-inch deck for ride-on, so I could fit a 52 or a 54 on there. 54 would be a tight squeeze, but I think it's actually a little bit bigger than 55. I'll double check it. But
so I built mine. So mine is sort of like, I'd say the Cowboys version of yours. In the sense that it's like you got yours professionally built and purpose built, whereas mine was just a box trailer at one point.
Yeah.
And it just got, renoed a few
Frankenstein.
times. Yeah, like a Frankenbip.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever used Frankenbip here.
No, we haven't used Frankenbip yet.
A Frankenbip is like a bunch of whippersnippers with all different parts. Yeah, wait, can you get the Frankenbip out?
Yeah, get the Frankenbip.
I made mine with a 61-inch clearance.
Yeah.
So I actually believe it's 63 inches, so that if I ever was like, I fucking use my brain for once, instead of rebuilding it every time, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to set this motherfucker to 63 inches.
Yeah.
And if I ever decided to get a 61 stand on, boom.
Straight in. Yeah, mate. So the racks, I love the racks because how we work, it's just crew. We rock up, everything's easy, grab it off, go for it. I've got so much space. Today, just this morning, we did palms. So I have a big village, both sides of the driveway are lined with palms, and the seeds were incredible. And because of the storms dropping a shitload, I filled it and took me one trip to the dump. Like if it was my old trailer, that's 2 trips straight up. So
I mean, yeah, you could fit someone's whole backyard in your rig.
I've actually said to my wife, if you want to go away, we could literally just put a cover over the top and just sleep in the back. It's fucking massive.
Yeah.
So it's I feel it's probably the best rig for me because I can take my big machines out, chuck it. I could chuck a 61 in the back easily if I had to. So it's just a good all rounder, and everything is very convenient. And I'm biased because it's mine and I did how I wanted to set it up. But
no, I agree. It pretty much is the ultimo. The way that I see, this bearded lawnsman style rig is you are legitimately set up to do everything. Yeah. So, even if you didn't have a zero turn at all, you can fit 2 push mowers fully enclosed in your in the tiger cage.
Yeah.
And the 30-inch section, you could always put some sort of toolbox.
Yeah.
A wheelbarrow. If
you made it a couple of extra inches, you could throw a 32 stander up there too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'd probably see some towing issues then.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, but it really is set up. And in the wintertime, if you didn't need your machines and you were doing a landscaping job or something like that, I mean, you can chuck all your barrows and, you can really get some work done with that. So, I think that's a pretty good breakdown of, the vehicles and trailers.
100%.
If anyone wants a part 2 and wants us to elaborate a little further on some of this topic, we can definitely do that. Don't forget to get your whiskey glasses out because it's time to put a bow on it. Yeah. We might touch on that a little bit more on the next episode. Thank you for joining us and see you later on in the week.
Peace.
Relax and take notes while I take totes of the marijuana smoke. Throw you in a choke, gun smoke, gun smoke.